I'm Terry Brock with terrybrock.com. You know, the old rules of selling and marketing really have to change in today's world. And there's a great book that just came out called The Power of Why from Richard Weylman. Richard's a buddy of mine, and he sent me his book over. Got this here. I love this thing. It's really packed with great ideas that work today. Breakthrough new ideas that are quite different than some of the things you've heard before. I've got this. You're going to love this paper book version here. Now, I prefer the online version. I prefer being able to read it. So Richard sent that over to me. And, well, here, I want to share this with you here. I'm looking here on page 11, here on the PDF that I got of it, and he talks about a USP. Now, you know about that in sales. It's the unique selling proposition. You got to have that. Yeah, it's good. But he says, you know, this is the way that it was before. He says, however, I have a completely different philosophy. I say you should concentrate on what the customers want, what they are doing, and what they want to accomplish. Think about it. Your USP is something all about you and your product, your unique selling proposition. Here's what Richard says. You need to have what he calls, here, I'm going to highlight this for you here, a unique value promise. Unique value promise. I like that. So it's something that's really focused on emotional meaning, personal benefit, and clear customer outcomes that will capture and keep customers. Very, very important. And I think he's got some great ideas on that. Matter of fact, I took a whole bunch of notes here on this as I went through. The book is just chock full of great things. You can see I did a lot of highlighting as I went through it because there were so many good ideas here. I love this over here on page 43 and page 44. Rule of engagement number 2. He has a bunch of rules of engagements that are really good here. Create and use a mission-specific questionnaire with preset questions. So he's going through and being able to get these interviews with key people. And here's a really important one over on page 46. Rule of engagement number 3. Interview your selected individuals face to face. That's right. Telephone is nice. Text is nice. Email nice. But for this, you want to do it face to face is what he says. And as I think about it, even though my background is technology and using those types of technologies that help you to connect with people, I like what he says. And particularly, look down here at the bottom. He says, also as noted earlier, he talked about this here, technology such as Skype, which I'm familiar with, having worked with them before, allows you to see and visually interact with the customer, can work, but only if the setting is congenial, comfortable, and confidential and allows for candid interaction. In other words, human. Yeah, it's got to be there with human beings. And I really like that. I think we can do Skype, but it's got to be done in certain ways. I'd love to talk with Richard more about that, find out what's available. But just yet another great idea. Here's another couple I want to share with you here. On page 50, he talks about rule of engagement number 7, listen actively and capture responses verbatim. Don't say, oh, they said this, and I think that means da-da-da-da. No, no, no. It's verbatim what they say. You're almost like you're recording, but he says don't use a recorder because that kind of changes the interface of the human interaction. But I like what he says. He says you're discovering that and doing it. And then over here, number 8. Now this is really good. This is a ninja power technique you could use. Rule of engagement number 8, spreadsheet their answers. And look over here on page 52 where he's got the spreadsheet laid out here, the functional advantage, emotional benefit, the clear plan, good counsel, casual relaxed dining, etc. All of these things that come together. And he talks about spreadsheeting their answers of what they have to say. This book here, The Power of Why, here's the paperback version of it. It's actually a hardcover of it. Really good. And again, real simple, easy to read. But I got to leave you with one thing here. Let me go through some others. As you can see, this entire book here is just packed with a lot of good information. You can read it real fast if you can read that fast. We can go through here. But here, I love this. Real simple on page 152. Your objective is to never again blend in. You've got to stand out in a very favorable way. And this book gives you the ability. The Power of Why by Richard Weylman. A great idea, a rich book that can help you to get a real competitive advantage. I'm Terry Brock. I highly recommend this book, and thank you very much for joining me.